Hey everyone. Happy New Year. It's Legion and I'm back again with another thoughtful review. Today we're going to be talking about The Witcher 3 A Wild Hunt, and boy is it going to be difficult to talk about. It's been covered from head to toe. You've probably already heard 30 reviews on it, and you yourself have probably given your own review on Steam or to a friend or something. It's well known that it's a very good game, and there's not much I could say differently than others already have. But I'll damn well try. So, first of all, this game recently had a large update. They released a overhaul of the graphics and added a mission that's maybe about 50 minutes long. So they didn't add much in terms of story, but they did add some, I believe, new armors or alternate looks to characters and graphical upgrades. And so it's in a good place to play. If you're on PC, you do need a very powerful rig to run the game. So if you have a PS5, you might want to go with that option. Again, unless you have a powerful rig. So, about the game. We all know and love it. We love the main character. Geralt, he's a real one, so to speak. And the characters are very depthy and complex, and the story and the side quests all come together to create an intertwined narrative masterpiece that really puts all other games to shame in this category. It's really on its own level. The gameplay, and now currently the graphics, are all superior to any other single player game I can think of. But what does this game really do that would make me want to create a quote unquote thoughtful review? And of course, to some of you, this may not be very thoughtful, but feel free to add comments of your own thoughts down below. What I think the game does better than any other game is it truly makes you feel immersed. And this is really a byproduct of the game being so complete and strong in every aspect that the immersion is not faked. In fact, I would argue that the world of The Witcher is in a way real. There are not many IPs out there that I would ever say are quote unquote real. And of course, I don't mean it's real in the sense that we can go there, see, and touch it. But I mean real in a philosophical sense. In comparison to our reality, what would make something real, in my opinion, is the cohesion of the world created. Of course, this game came from a series of books written by a Polish writer, whom I'll put their name here. And we all know series or games based on books always have a good advantage because they're so well documented, and being documented creates a cohesion where everything is in a way connected in the sense where it lived in this world in a sensical way. So on your journeys you meet many characters, monsters and humans alike, that have pages upon pages of history, a life, and a meaningful interaction with this world. So you don't really have to suspend your disbelief. Instead, you can indulge your mind the same way as if you were experiencing something in real life, where you know when you meet a character or go to a place or anything for that matter, it's going to be grounded in its own reality. So with all that being said, this is more of a commentary on the dying art of being a patient developer than The Witcher 3 itself. The Witcher 3 was one of the last games I can remember that had such an extensive and fruitful development period instead of a rushed, unfinished product where developers are thinking they'll make money anyway. So yeah, I just want to take a quick intermission and thank you for watching. If you'd like, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. The recent update that they did on the graphics are a very big key reason to play if you haven't. The world of The Witcher is not only full of documentation for its characters, but its locations are filled with detail. And a lot of what you do in the game is walk around and explore. Half the time, you're kind of like Bruce Wayne in the sense where you're playing detective and you're walking around a crime scene and looking around, and there's so many objects to look at that having these improved graphics really improve the experience. Which is why the footage that you're seeing right now is actually my third playthrough. So anyway, on to the next reason why I think The Witcher 3 is a cut above its competition. So The Witcher 3 is an RPG, and if we're going to fairly compare it, we should compare it with other RPGs. One of the key things about an RPG is decision making, and what The Witcher 3 does is make your decisions matter in a way that matter to you on a human level, rather than making decisions into a gimmick. A lot of times developers mistake making your decisions matter with making your decisions affect the entire world around you. That's not always the way to make a decision matter. And there's nothing wrong with making decisions affect the world around you, because that's really what all of us want to do as people, is make the world a better place or watch the world burn, so to speak. But what this also does when you make your decisions affect the whole world is create a lot more development difficulty which causes these developers to take shortcuts. Now, what The Witcher 3 does is through carefully crafted narrative, make the side quest or the main quest, create a narrative that make you really care. And then they'll put a decision in there that affects the characters that you now care about. Now you may be thinking, so what? Other games have made decision making affect characters rather than the world, but The Witcher's just superior in the storytelling sense, so when you make these decisions, you feel like you're really affecting these characters' lives. Last but not least, one of my favorite things that The Witcher does is create a world that makes sense in an actual dark fantasy. For those of us who have been around and don't have our head in the sand, we know that typically human nature is not the most innocent. So by the creator treating its audience as if it's not naive and more so reflecting reality, it opens up many more possibilities as to where the story can go or what a character's intentions can be. As in real life, corruption runs very deep, and you or I have no idea what the intention of, for example, a politician or a friend or an acquaintance that we meet is. So this allows the creators to get more complex with its characters and conclusions to their stories, as well as create multiple layers of danger for the player, including violence, deceit, and betrayal by maybe characters that you care about. Anyway, in conclusion, I think that The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt is the greatest single player game of all time. That's not to say I think that it beats series, because I think some game series are better. But in terms of a game standing on its own, I don't think another game competes with it, because the amount of stuff it has in it, narrative and content wise, many other games, even movies and TV shows, need multiple entries to compete with it. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Their property and possessions, and they'll go after non-human.
Mama, is that you?